You're watching the Autos 360 Network.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the SST Car Show. I'm Rick Walker. Let's go for a ride now, shall we? In the all-new Ford Mustang Mach E. It's all electric. This is a controversial vehicle, not because it's electric, not because it's an SUV, but because it's a Mustang. This is the Mustang Mach E. It does have Mustang style cues. If you look at the hood, it's got the bulges. If you look at the tail lights, they're definitely Mustang, but it is an SUV. The Mach E competes directly with the Tesla Model Y. This is all electric, and even though there is a key fob, Ford thinks you'll end up using a phone app to remotely start and remotely lock and unlock your vehicle. You can also check your charge level and more. On the outside, the styling is clean. One of the first things you'll notice is there are no door handles. Instead, you push a button and the door pops open, and there's a small grab handle on the front doors. On the rear doors, the door pops open and you have to reach in and just pull the door open from behind. Don't worry, a small kick plate pops out to prevent the door from closing on your fingers accidentally. Ford uses black accents and a fastback style roofline to give the Mach E a lower visual profile. Even though the roof appears to slope downward, it really doesn't. It's a visual trick. And that means in the back seat, there's plenty of headroom. There's also plenty of legroom, even for a full-size adult. It has a very thick battery pack, and as a result, it sits low. Now, some people prefer an SUV to sit higher, but personally, in this case, I like that it sits low because it gives the vehicle a low center of gravity. Ford has included the motion sensor under the rear bumper, allowing you to just wave your foot under the bumper and automatically open the rear hatch. The OneDrive option allows you to drive the vehicle without really ever touching the brake pedal. To accelerate, you just step on the accelerator, and to decelerate or brake, you just back off on the accelerator, and the motors engage in regeneration mode. That means they sort of create braking power and friction and regenerate power to pump it back into the batteries. At the appropriate time, the brakes will also kick in, so if you're coming to a complete stop or if you need to stop more quickly, you just let the accelerator off more aggressively and the brakes will engage. Not just grab, but they will progressively engage. And then when you accelerate again and step on the accelerator, the brakes let go and you begin to accelerate. The motors kick into acceleration mode. So it's kind of a neat feature. You can drive without using the brake pedal. The Mach E is fast off the mark. Handling is precise. The ride is smooth but firm enough to give you good road feel. During our week-long test drive, the Mach E turned heads. Young kids came up to me and asked about the vehicle. They were excited because it had the Mustang emblem on the front. Whether you agree with calling this a Mustang or not, there's no question. Ford's marketing tactics are working. Attaching the Mustang name to this SUV will ensure that they sell a whole lot more of them than they would have if they hadn't called it a Mustang. Because this is a Ford, you're also buying a vehicle that will be supported by a huge dealer network. In my opinion, that gives it a huge advantage over Tesla. Plus, Ford will be rolling out a self-driving program that can be integrated into the Mach E. In just about every way, Ford has knocked it out of the park with the Mustang Mach E. It's a worthy competitor to the Tesla Model Y. This is a vehicle that's all about efficiency. That's why these tires are so narrow. Expect wider tires on the GT. The interior really does not look like a regular Mustang's interior. It has a streamlined dashboard. The look overall is minimalistic and clean. There's a flip-up armrest in the center console that allows a fair amount of storage. Underneath, there's customizable ambient interior lighting, heated front seats, a heated steering wheel, wireless charging, and a giant panoramic sunroof. A really unique feature is the front trunk, which is made of durable plastic. It has a drain plug in the bottom, so you can actually use it to store ice, use it as a cooler, and then rinse it out. Behind the rear seats, you'll find 29 cubic feet of cargo space, 60 cubic feet when you fold the back seats down. there's a gigantic 15.5-inch vertically mounted touchscreen right up front, running Ford's next generation Sync infotainment system. With this, you get Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, and a mobile Wi-Fi hotspot. It's all connected to a Bang & Olufsen audio system. So here in Canada, this vehicle sells for about $59,000 Canadian. On the US side, about $45,000 US. But with tax breaks, various government incentives, depending on where you live, you can pick these up for about $35,000 US to start. Ford's Sync 4A personalization system can remember your preferences, including your seating position, your preferred drive mode, even the ambient lighting you prefer. It uses machine learning to fully customize to each driver's experience. Right now, it supports 3 different driver profiles and 1 guest. Ford will be rolling out over-the-air updates that will constantly improve the system over time, adding new content to the system. Ford will be rolling out a self-driving program that can be integrated into the Mach E. Key safety features include available forward collision warning and automated emergency braking, available blind spot monitoring, as well as rear cross traffic alert, and available lane departure warning and lane keeping assist. Depending on the model, the Mach E has an estimated range of between 211 miles and 305 miles. It all depends on the battery pack, the type of electric motors you have, and whether you're using 2-wheel or 4-wheel drive. You can choose your driving mode. Engage is normal, Whisper is economy, and Unbridled is the sport or performance mode. Each model also has fast charging capability. But to make the vehicle practical, you really need a 240-volt outlet at home, or you need to use a level 3 charger. Using a standard 110-volt outlet at home, it would take 4 days to fully charge the Mustang Mach E. With a 240-volt outlet, it takes 15 hours. However, with a level 3 charger, you can add 61 miles of range in just 10 minutes and charge from 10% to 80% in just 45 minutes. So I'm on a long trip today, taking this thing back. I have to stop at a charging station, a public charging station, to top up, to make sure that I get to where I need to go. So this is one of my first times using a public charging station, and of course it didn't work. But it was okay, because I called the toll-free number listed on the front of the charging station. I got a very nice lady on the phone who gave me instructions, and she reset the charging station. It wasn't accepting my credit card. Once it was reset, I put my card in, connected to the vehicle. Everything worked out okay. And this level 3 charger is pretty fast. I've gone from 68% to 80% in only a few minutes. And I bought a muffin before I came over here, so I'm eating the muffin. And by the time I'm done eating the muffin, I'll probably be up to about 85, maybe 90%. And then we can get back on the road. So, yeah, it's okay. The Mach E comes standard with a 75.7 kilowatt battery. Or you can get an extended range 98.8 kilowatt battery. The power is fed to electric motors that are mounted on either the rear or both axles. If you go for the GT performance models, the motors combine to make 480 horsepower and 634 pound-feet of torque. That'll propel you from 0 to 60 in just 3.5 seconds. That is fast. Our test vehicle didn't have that setup, but it was still very quick off the mark. Base models generate about 266 horsepower, mid-range models 346 horsepower. You can choose from a variety of wheels, all of which are quite attractive, that range in size from 18 to 20 inches. You can also get adaptive dampers for adjustable ride firmness. In many ways, this is one of the most refined vehicles I've ever driven, and I think that's because it is electric and it's smooth. you don't get that engine rumble. Elon Musk said at one point, gasoline-driven vehicles seemed primitive, or would end up appearing primitive to people. And I sort of understand what he means now, after having driven this Ford. The bottom line is the Mustang Mach E is one of the best electrics on the market right now, and it is our top SST electric vehicle of the year. For the Autos 360 Network and the SST Car Show, I'm Rick Walker. Don't worry, you won't miss the rumble of the old V8 engines, because the Mach E comes with a variety of simulated engine sounds that are pumped into the cabin. We'll be back right after these messages.